The authors of a new report showing a major loss of trust in the New Zealand news media say it's time for news organisations to look in the mirror.
Just a third of Kiwis now say they trust the news. That's down 20% from 5 years ago.
Why is New Zealand mainstream media so reluctant to criticise National Act and New Zealand First? It is partially because of right-wing bias, cronyism and possibly nepotism. Take Jessica Mackay. With Luxon as leader of the National Party, she was recorded showing her bias towards Luxon, giving him tips and trying to get the public to warm up to him.
After its political editor Jessica Mackay was accused of bias for this throwaway comment on RNZ.
We are encouraging him to try and do some more photo opportunities, and people need to get to know him.
When critics accused Mackay of giving PR advice to National's leader,
she has been biased towards Christopher Luxon before he even became leader.
The smart choice, I think, would be Christopher Luxon.
And during the 2023 leaders' debate, she would occasionally help Luxon, such as this statement on electric vehicles, to help him delegitimise Chris Hipkin's statement.
Have you ever considered that, and what are you doing personally? Just a couple of quick answers.
Oh, look, as a family, we embraced recycling some time ago, a decade ago, and so we work quite hard at that.
I have an EV, I'm a recycler, and I'm very focused on making sure
you have an EV as well.
Well, you might have heard my wife's probably got the most famous EV in the country, I'll just put it to you.
She also really wanted Christopher Luxon to have the last say.
I'll give you the last word on this to round out the debate. So what do you say in response to Chris Hipkins here?
Well, look, what I just say to Chris is that I don't think giving $140 million to a company that's making through the ETS system as well. So for me, I wouldn't give...
So we're just relying on corporate goodwill to reduce our...
Because you're messing with my last word to Chris Luxon.
I get the last word still. I just wouldn't give...
Jessica Mackay used to work at Sky News, which was eventually owned by Comcast, where John Key was an advisor. John Key was also a director at Air New Zealand, while Luxon was CEO of Air New Zealand. He was also chairman of ANZ.
I'm interviewing John Key in today's ep. But regardless of his previous career, he now holds a very important position. He's the head of ANZ, our biggest bank, that controls 1 in 2 New Zealanders' money.
ANZ is where Jessica Mackay would get a job, not long after National won the election, as the head of government relations and corporate responsibility. It is an awfully convenient position for someone who has a career mostly in media, especially considering John Key's role in ANZ and Air New Zealand. Of note is that David Seymour descends from the Mackays through his mother. There are other people in media with questionable connections to right-wing politicians too. Ben Thomas would do political commentary for Newshub and would write for The Spin-Off. Ben Thomas was National's press secretary. He was also a consultant with lobbying firm Exceltium, whose clients include the ACT Party. Brooke Van Velden has also previously worked at Exceltium. Newshub's political editor Jenna Lynch is married to Andrew Kettles, Chief of Staff of the ACT Party. Andrew Kettles played a role in establishing coalition talks on behalf of the ACT Party after the 2023 election. Stuff NZ has had a partnership with the New Zealand Taxpayers Union through their Ratepayers Report. This partnership with the Taxpayers Union first started over 10 years ago. Also, both Stuff's The Post and New Zealand Herald had Taxpayers Union members write for them, such as Jordan Williams and Alex Ames.